Paul.
And I'm Dale.
And welcome to what will now be known as one-of-a-kind reviews.
Yep, that is the new name we have come up with for our channel. We hope you guys like the name.
Moving on.
Yep. This will be Review Roulette. This week in Review Roulette we'll be reviewing No Mercy 2003.
Yes, you start the first match.
Alright, well, we started this match off with Rey Mysterio taking on Tajiri for the Cruiserweight Championship. Yep, this was a pretty decent opening match, I'd say.
It was very good.
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, as you'll find out later on in the review, one of the better matches of the night, by far.
Yeah, they worked really, really well together, these guys. And Tajiri gave a good feel to the Cruiserweight division with his, harder hitting.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strikes. And
very, Japanese strong style stuff.
And yeah, it's very good to see the difference between Mysterio and Tajiri and the different styles they have.
Yeah, exactly, and they meshed really well.
There was one point in the match that I want to point out. Rey Mysterio went for the West Coast Pop from the 619 and got absolutely slammed with a powerbomb.
Yeah. Also, there was. I'm not sure whether it was a planted fan. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
it was.
I wrote that down too. I wasn't sure.
I'm assuming that it was a planted fan, but they somewhat ran the ring and distracted Rey.
Yeah, I mean it led to the finish of the match, but at the same time it looked just kind of like a random jumper. Yeah,
so. I exactly what I wrote was either the fan was a plant or they improvised super well, because that was some pretty wicked improvising if that was not planned.
Yeah, it was very good
well
stuff.
Done to them.
Well, we ended up having Tajiri. Well, I forgot to mention Tajiri was actually the champion going into this match.
Yep.
And he also retained the title after said distraction.
And then put him down with a buzzsaw kick.
Yep. While he was still standing as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite impressive.
Pretty wicked. So I gave that one a 3MB out of 5.
Yep, I also gave that one a 3MB out of 5. Very strong start to the pay-per-view. Yep.
Then we moved on to A-Train versus he who shall not be named.
Chris
Benoit. So yeah, this match was it was alright, I guess.
Yeah, it was. Man, I mean, the only really notable part about this match is anything Benoit did and the one nasty bump Benoit took.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, there was a point in the match in which there was a steel chair in the ring and A-Train lifted him up for a gorilla press slam and then accidentally just dropped him head first onto the chair.
Yeah, how did they not get DQ'd during this match?
I don't know.
The chair was in there for a big period of the match and it was used. It wasn't used directly.
Yeah, it wasn't used offensively, so therefore.
I don't think that would fly nowadays. Though,
not nowadays. Definitely.
The minute a chair was in the ring and you drop someone on a chair, DQ.
Yeah, well, these days the referee would just take the chair out of the ring straight away.
Yeah, well, that's what I wrote down. Well, the ref was shit at his job. Didn't take the chair out of the ring.
Extremely shit.
Anyway, so I gave that one a Scotty 2 Hottie out of 5. It's a pretty basic match.
I gave that the 1 Billy Gunn and a half out of 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, it wasn't a terribly great match. Would have been worse if it wasn't for the fact Benoit was in there.
Yeah, well, he saves most matches.
Exactly.
And we got introduced to Heidenreich backstage. That was quite funny, accusing Matt Hardy of throwing his audition tape for WWE out.
Yep, which
with Shannon Moore when he was super scrawny and just
weird.
He looked like a child.
Yeah.
Really looked
that
like
honestly
a child.
is the best way to describe him at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. Moving on to the match with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy versus Zach Gowen.
This match honestly surprised the crap out of me. A very good match. Really enjoyed the psychology and storytelling in this one. Zach Gowen, for a one-legged man, damn he can move and jump.
Yeah, who would have thought that the one-legged, the first one-legged wrestler or whatever would be a high flyer?
Yeah, wouldn't expect that.
And a good one at that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Best moonsault I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was the funny thing.
Maybe besides for the BME, but...
Yeah, well...
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, but, yeah, considering he has one leg, he completely showed up Matt Hardy's moonsault.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Matt Hardy has a very quality moonsault.
Yep, well, considering before this match I thought Matt Hardy's moonsault was one of the best in the business. Turns out I was wrong.
Zach Gowen.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah, so he ended up winning off of that.
Yeah, off of that brilliant moonsault.
And he did some weird like springboard senton thing.
That was awesome.
Like, bounced off of his knee on the top rope. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's an athletic guy.
Yeah, it was super awesome, that match. I gave that a 3.5 MB out of 5. It was definitely one of the better matches on the card.
Yep, I also gave that a 3.5 MB out of 5. My favourite match of the night, to be honest.
Yeah. Then we had a very confusing backstage
segment.
Yeah,
this made no sense whatsoever.
Okay, so, for later on in the night, there was Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon in an I Quit match. That was like, the big plug for the pay-per-view, pretty much. And, so it's an I Quit match, so inherently there is no disqualifications, no holds barred, none of these things. And Linda McMahon goes backstage to plead with Vince to not have the match and all that. And Vince says that Steph can win by pinfall, but then he needs an advantage as well. So now it's no holds barred.
Even though it would have been anyway.
Yeah, even though that was already happening, you made the match.
You were the one who actually probably invented the match.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the rules. He doesn't realise that there is no rules.
I would assume he would remember The Rock vs. Mankind, where Mankind almost died in an I Quit match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means that there was no holds barred.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, then we moved on to the APA versus the Basham Brothers.
Oh, this match, really the only saving grace in this one was JBL. His powerbomb and clothesline onto, I'm not even sure which Basham was, they looked the fucking same to me.
I think that was their thing. They were
I
twins.
so.
Yep. So this one was really physical. To be honest, while it was going on, I quite enjoyed it, to be honest.
I didn't like it very much. I mean, the clothesline from Hell and the absolute massive powerbomb from JBL was great, but besides that, very lackluster and boring match in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Then we had Farouk accidentally knocking out the ref.
Yep.
And JBL hits said clothesline from Hell.
Yep.
And then Shaniqua came out. Shaniqua.
Yep, Shaniqua helped the Bashams go over via shenanigans.
Yes, club shenanigans.
Yep, club shenanigans.
Sounds like a really low budget club. Yep. Yeah, so the Bashams actually hit a Rough Rider type move to
it was quite strange.
Funny. But anyway, gave that a Scotty 2 hottie and a half out of 5. It was alright.
I gave that one the one Billy Gunn out of 5.
He doesn't like this pay-per-view, does he?
Nah.
Alright. Moving on to the biggest shit of a match on the card.
That was the last match in my opinion, though.
What?
The last match was the biggest shit on the card.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Anyway, so the next match was the I Quit match with Vince and Steph McMahon.
I'll give credit where credit's due to Paul's statement. Yeah, it was a very uncomfortable and very odd match, but definitely not the worst match of the night.
Yeah, it was just very, very, very weird.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Vince sold Stephanie's moves and stuff very well, sold her offense quite well, but besides that, there really wasn't much of a point to the match.
No, not really.
I mean, I like the fact that the finish, how they had Linda throw in the towel. It kind of gave the whole implication of the whole McMahon never giving up kind of attitude.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Yeah, I guess it did alright for her character in future.
Yeah, definitely.
And made Vince look like the biggest arsehole in the world.
Yeah, but Vince makes himself look like the biggest arsehole in the world on a nightly basis in this time.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, he was having an I Quit match with his daughter. That's probably enough right there.
Yep.
I gave that the 1.5 Billy Gunn out of 5.
Oh, I gave that one a Scotty 2 hottie out of 5. What?
Okay.
What?
I was expecting a really, really bad rating from you there.
No, not that one.
Not, okay.
Well, I mean, 2 is not exactly the greatest rating you can get.
Yeah, but I was harsher.
Yeah, you were harsher, but I liked it more than you did.
Moving on. So next we had John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
This match was actually quite brilliant.
It was a fantastic match.
Cena can actually wrestle back then. Holy fuck. Put on a very solid match.
He forgot how to wrestle over the next 10 years.
One thing I wanted to mention in this, one of the 2 times in his career that John Cena has tapped out. I'm not sure whether it's 2 times, but it's 2 people. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I've put down Cena taps to Angle for Ray.
Yep. And the other one is He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Crispin Wild.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah, but this was a very, very cool match, to be honest. Like, I mean, Cena was what, 2-3 years in?
No, about 1 year in.
Wow.
It was 2003, debuted in 02. So I mean, when it comes to overall training and all that, about 2 or 3 years.
2-3 years in.
But on the main roster, he's about a year in.
Well. Yeah, he did really well. He actually did a turnbuckle powerbomb during this match.
He did. It was quite odd.
So many recycled moves, man.
There was one stage in the match where I thought Cena was going to die because it looked like Kurt Angle was going to German suplex him from the apron onto the floor.
They teased that spot a lot with Angle.
I feel like, have they even done it, like actually pulled the spot off before?
I feel that it's happened once,
Good.
but I can't remember when
Well,
or to who.
I want to find this out and see it.
It's top-notch memory, Paul. Yeah, I gave that one a 4 Horsemen out of 5. It was a very, very good match. Very good match.
I gave that one a 3.5 MB out of 5. It's a pretty solid match.
Yeah. Then we moved on to the US Championship match with Big Show and Eddie Guerrero.
Yep, we had
Eddie Guerrero being the champion.
We had Eddie Guerrero's challenger. Champion, I mean. Champion, my bad. Yeah, this match was pretty much how you'd expect an Eddie Guerrero Big Show match to go in the way of psychology. A lot of Big Show in control. A bit confused as to what happened to Eddie Guerrero's back. Like, what was all those cuts on his back?
I don't know.
Because that looked legitimate, like it looked like he got thrown through a glass window or something.
I'm not sure.
But whatever it is, holy shit, props to you for wrestling that match.
Yeah, well, to be honest, like, he wrestled very hurt on many occasions.
Yeah, many occasions.
He was an absolute trooper.
And I feel like Nick Patrick might have died in this match also. Because he copped quite a wicked leg drop from the Big Show.
Yeah, that's like one thing that you really don't want to do as a ref.
No, especially from the Big Show.
Yeah, like fair enough, like be like, oh yeah, you're going to bump in this match. But when you hear that you're going to bump for Big Show, it's not a good thing.
And then you find out you're bumping for a leg drop? Oh my god.
That's even worse. So, I think Eddie almost won this one. He smashed Big Show in the head with the US title and went for a frog splash.
Yep.
Got a near fall. And then several choke slams later. Big Show
there was also a point where Eddie used the brass knuckles.
Yeah, and trash can lid, and
yep.
He was doing his whole light sheet steel gimmick.
He built that off quite well, as he always did.
Yeah, that was his thing, man.
And yeah, in my opinion, this was probably my favourite match of the night.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was probably equal best, I'd say. And then we moved on to the main event.
Oh, we didn't rate that one.
No, we didn't. 3.5 MB out of 5.
Yep, same rating here.
Sweet. Moving on. WWE Championship, the biker chain match.
Yep. Lesnar versus Taker. One thing I want to point out in this match. Paul Heyman, for so long, was going on about how Undertaker has to use low blows. He even pointed out in an interview that in their Hell in a Cell match, I think the same year as this 2003, that Undertaker resorted to using a low blow.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Heyman? Lesnar used a low blow in this match to take advantage. In fact, he did a lot of very dodgy things in this match.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he was ever
half of them weren't his fault, but
I don't think he was ever saying that Lesnar wouldn't do those things.
no.
He was just saying that Taker, it's not like Taker to do those things.
That's very true. And I guess on commentary they were pointing out that it was very much like Lesnar to do these sorts of things.
Exactly, and I mean, if you're Undertaker and you're facing Brock Lesnar,
I'd blame you.
I'd hit him in the nuts too. So yeah, there was all these like weird every time Taker went to grab the bike chain, the lights went out.
Or like FBI came out and interrupted, or Vince came out and interrupted.
Yeah, obviously it was Vince's doing.
Yep.
You've got how to talk there. Yeah. The one thing that Dale and I were discussing off camera that was a little bit weird is the fact that it's a biker chain match. The whole point of the match is to get the biker chain.
Yeah, so...
But you can win the match before you get the biker chain.
Yeah, I feel like there should at least be no pinfalls until the chain has come into play and someone has taken it off the pole.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of the match? You could just win it in 5 minutes and then the chain's of no use.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, then you don't have to build a whole fucking match around who gets the chain.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, Vince McMahon pushed The Undertaker off the top rope. Lesnar got the upper hand and used the chain.
Yep, around his fist to knock out The Undertaker and get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So Vince screwed Taker.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all we need to say about that match.
Yeah.
It was pretty lackluster considering who was in it and the fact that it was a gimmicky match.
Yep, I completely agree.
So I gave that 3 MB out of 5, and that, to be honest, was being a bit generous.
Yeah, I also gave it a 3 MB out of 5, and that was being very generous. At the time, I was almost tempted to give it a 2.
Yeah, and you calmed down a bit.
Yeah, calm down a little bit.
Wasn't that bad.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. Still not great though.
Yeah.
As an overall, I'll give this pay-per-view the 1.5 Billy Gunn out of 5. I don't know, this pay-per-view just couldn't keep me entertained. I mean, most pay-per-views, at least, they can keep my attention, and this one struggled to do so.
Fair enough. I gave this one a 3 MB out of 5. Like, I mean, there was some good matches on there, but as Dale said, there was like some really slow parts where it kind of seemed like a bit of a chore to be watching.
Oh, definitely. It's almost like watching Raw on their off nights, and it just becomes a chore.
Raw most weeks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that'll wrap it up for the review of No Mercy 2003. So I guess we'll find out what we're doing next time.
Alright, that sounds good.
No paper in my hair. Awesome.
Alright, let's see what we got here. WrestleMania 22. That'll be a good one.
Excellent.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so leave a comment on what you thought of this pay-per-view. Like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And we'll see you all next time for some more one-of-a-kind reviews.
And that was the whole fucking show. Have a nice day, guys.
If you mess with me, you got no chance.